Hello, Mr. Red Fox here. This is one of two videos coming out today, Friday, October 25th. So, this video is going to be about Bethesda and their Fallout 76 situation. And you might ask yourself, why are you talking about this? Why are you talking about this? Well, because this is a situation that's been developing all week. Started out Tuesday when they dropped this information, and then Wednesday when it went live, and now even as typical Bethesda situation, even the paid subscription, the premium subscription service that they put out isn't working properly. So it's just a big fucking ball of fail. So, without much ado, let's get into it after the cut. So, Fallout 76 is basically part of a string of games that have underperformed for Bethesda this fiscal year. And when I say a string of games, I mean literally, they released 3 games in their fiscal year of 2018 to 2019. All 3 of them have done poorly. And I'm not, listen, I don't want any business to fail unless it's EA or Activision. Extra light right there. But all 3 of these businesses, all 3 of these games underperformed. Fallout 76 underperformed. Wolfenstein, Youngblood underperformed. Rage 2 underperformed. I mean, you could say Fallout 76 fell the hardest because basically, literally like a week after the game came out, they were slashing the price by 50% to get people to buy the damn game. And I don't think that it was working even then. So, what are you going to do? So, basically, the situation unfolded like this. Fallout 76, these 3 games underperformed, and Bethesda is, right now, they're in desperation mode. They're like, shit, we got to get some money flowing in. So they looked at the game that had the largest install base that they could basically fuck over, Fallout, because, people who are Fallout fans tend to be really hardcore Fallout fans. And so what they did was, they said, okay, we're going to push back the free DLC that should have been there, because they pledged when Fallout 76 came out, all DLC was going to be cosmetic only. This was from Pete Hines, the man, Pete Hines is what I like to call a professional liar, because he says shit, has nothing to back up to it. This is the man who said Fallout 4 is Bethesda's most successful game to date, shows no numbers for it, no financial numbers to go with it. Said we're not going to have paid mods. Okay, so basically you're buying assets from modders who would normally have certain mods, they would be free. You're buying those mods and then putting them into a store owned by Bethesda. So while it's not directly paying the mods directly, the money's you're giving money to modders for mods that they created. Now you own them, and then you're selling them to people for fake Bethesda bucks. And that's not paid mods? Seems a little strange to me. It's like this, if I'm a drug addict and I want to buy drugs, even though the drug dealer on the corner might not be growing the drugs, the cocaine themselves, and they might in fact be a middleman for the supplier, I'm still paying for drugs. I'm still buying drugs. So just because you've gone through several middlemen in order to get to me, I'm still buying drugs. So those are still paid mods. But anyway, so basically, this all leads to the major issue which we have at hand right now, is that Bethesda has dropped Fallout 76, and Fallout 76 is a broken piece of shit. Right now, and they're like, okay, we can't be bothered to actually make this game stable. we're going to sell you a game that people have to pay for. When this game first came out, it was $60 plus. It was $59.99 plus tax, so probably over $60 for most people. So a AAA priced game, although the game is not AAA in quality or in quality or status, but AAA priced. And then later on down the line, even despite price cuts, you're going to charge people $100 a year or $12.99 a month to play this game. This is some bullshit. Right? This is total and complete bullshit. And people are like, I can't believe Bethesda's doing this. I can't believe they're doing. Look, listen, all right. They're doing this because they want to make money, all right? They're doing this because they're a privately traded company. I mean, they're a privately held company, and they don't have to answer to anyone but themselves. Frankly speaking, you dumbasses keep on buying their bullshit ass games. And yes, I'm gonna include myself into it because I bought Skyrim, I bought Fallout 4. I paid $10 for the Game of the Year edition because I waited till that shit was on sale. I didn't get it day one because I'm not stupid. Also, Fallout Legendary Edition I got because I had the original Game of the Year edition for Skyrim that had all the shit in it. Skyrim Legendary Edition. I had the original version of that game, so I got the Legendary Edition for free. But I mean, you get what I'm saying. It's like, you brought this on yourselves. So, on your head it be, for lack of a better term. But with that being said, I guess I can mosey on along to the second part of this, which is the issues that this game is having, even with their premium subscription service after the cut. So, essentially, here's what has apparently been going on with this game. Okay, even despite just in the 3-4 days, the 3 days since this premium subscription model has launched. Okay, so basically, what you got in this premium subscription model is. The two big things, the one big thing people were asking for were private servers. Now, typically speaking, when someone says it is a private server, how it was back in the day, like let's say you were playing a multiplayer game and you had a private server, you could create your own instance that was unique to you. And it was a pristine virgin experience and you could go in there and do whatever the fuck you wanted with your friends. That's how it was back in the day. Like if you were playing a private server match of Age of Empires back in the day, that was a new map, new resources, new instance. Everything is pristine. You start your game and everything could go according to plan. Same thing with StarCraft, Warcraft, online shooters. The big online shooter back in the day that I did private servers for was Tribes, where you could basically do a private match amongst your friends with a LAN, or if people had a modem back in the day, because this was back in the day, you really didn't, modems were a bit higher tier for us. The instance was always unique and pristine. Well, apparently in this game, the private servers, calling it a private server is bullshit, because what it really is that you're using an old instance that people have moved on from. You're not using, so technically it's a private server, but it's not a unique instance that's pristine and new, which is kind of weird because most people who play online games, when someone says this is a private match, this is a private server, you're thinking, okay, this is a new game, there's new shit. They're going into areas that have already been looted, people have already built shit. It's just when the game was nuked and the map was reset, like the old instance is just being dumped away, and that's what's being pulled back. So basically they're recycling old shit and packaging it as being new, which is nothing new because Bethesda's been using the same fucking engine for like the last 15 years, basically. Not really surprised that they're recycling more shit to give people. But that's only one thing that they're fucking up with. There's also the unlimited scrap box, where apparently it's unlimited storage for scrap, which in this game, Fallout 76 is kind of built off the bones of Fallout 4. So in Fallout 4, one of the major things that you get were resources were bits and pieces of materials that you could get from shit that you found in the game. You could take to a workbench and scrap down, and then use those materials to build new things in order to make new equipment, upgrade your armor, make mods for your weapons, that type of thing. Well, in this game, they just cut that out, and it's just scrap. Like, you can get stuff and it's called scrap. Well, apparently the unlimited scrap box is eating people's scrap, and they can't get it back. And Bethesda had the nerve to say, no, it's a display error. No, people can't get their shit back. Like, it's gone. So even in selling you a premium subscription service, Bethesda can't do that shit right. Which is not really surprising. At this point, it's like, not really surprising. And then they have the Ranger armor from Fallout New Vegas, a game that Bethesda didn't fucking make, that people love. People who are true Fallout fans love Fallout New Vegas because it was made by Obsidian. Obsidian is made from the remnants of Blackrock Isle Studios. Blackrock Isle Studios is basically the studio that made the original Fallouts 1 and 2 under Interplay. Then when Interplay folded, Bethesda bought the Fallout license. But Bethesda doesn't give a fuck about Fallout. It's just an IP for them to exploit and fuck up. But Obsidian, a lot of these people are the people who originally made Fallout, so they have a vested interest in seeing it do well. Bethesda, not so much. It's just an IP they fucking bought. What the fuck do they care? And thirdly, the third issue is that the monthly atoms, which is the premium currency that you can spend real money on and get fake currency in order to buy things in the Fallout store, the Fallout 76 store, atoms, the amount of currency you get month to month to month is less. Like, it's not enough for you to get a skin in the fucking store. So it's literally just useless. Everything is useless. Once again, Bethesda fucking shit up, as per the usual. So I'll give you my overall take on this after the cut. So, here we go with my overall thoughts on this debacle, because that's what it is. It's a debacle. It's a fucking debacle. Basically, I would have to say that, I can't say I'm surprised that Bethesda fucked it up. Okay, here's the thing, okay? Fallout 4 was not a very good game. I know there are people who enjoy it, but the people who I found really enjoyed Fallout 4 are people who are not fans of Fallout. Fallout 3 felt like Bethesda was aping the original Fallout in a 3D space. Fallout New Vegas felt like a Fallout game, but that's because it was made by Obsidian, which is, I've said this before, Obsidian was made from the remnants of people who originally made Fallout. These people have made a lot of RPGs over the years. They know how to make RPGs. They're good at it. Bethesda makes really ambitious games that always fall flat from what they were attempting to do. They reach for the moon, and they wind up, smash into the side of a mountain, which is higher than ground level, but still, you smash in the side of a mountain. So I can't say I'm surprised that this has turned out to be a debacle. You have a notoriously buggy engine. You have an engine that is, fucked from the start. Fucked from the start, the engine's fucked. You have, all this shit that's just broken. And you have a studio. Now, Bethesda themselves didn't make this game. They contracted out to a sub studio that they own. But it's got Bethesda's name on it, so I'm including it with Bethesda. are you surprised? You know, it's like, man, I invited my meth head cousin into my house and they stole all my shit in order to buy more meth. You're surprised? You know, use my Jewish, are you surprised? I mean, look who you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I mean, what am I, chopped liver? But I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous and yet not surprising. It's like, I knew they were gonna fuck that up. I mean, obviously they were gonna fuck it up. Like, clearly this was gonna be fucked up. So, can't say I'm surprised. I feel kind of sad about it. You know, I feel that, I feel sorry for the people who bought this shit. I mean, people have warned you, do not buy Bethesda games day one. Especially their open world games built in their Luminous engine. Do not buy these games day one. And you people do it anyway, and then get mad. Hey man, I can't believe all this shit is broken. We told you. So, I mean, basically, you guys got played. I mean, and you have no one but to blame but yourselves. Well, no, I shouldn't say no one. I would say 50% of the blame is you, 50% of the blame is Bethesda. And, I mean, you should have known Bethesda was going to be fucked, because that's what Bethesda does. They're like, oh, we're fucked up. We're Bethesda. Although, I will say it's ironic that Bethesda's premium service is called Fallout First. Because it sounds like Fallout First is supposed to, like, I'm sure, like, this clearly, the fact that they didn't buy a domain name for this premium service, that they didn't have anything prepared to go, that basically they just threw some shit together. This was a rushed thing. This was something that was put in over the last month. No one planned this shit out, because someone bought the domain name and basically trolled the fuck out of Bethesda. And, I mean, to be honest, Fallout First, I'm sure someone thought, well, this is going to sound all lush and premier and all, you know, highfalutin. When it sounds like, to me, when someone says Fallout First, especially when it pertains to Fallout 76 and Bethesda, how Bethesda's penchant to fuck over their customers, it sounds like Fallout First, you're going to be the first to be fucked up the ass by Todd Howard. Like when I think Fallout First, I think people who are into Fallout 76, they're in stockades like Pulp Fiction, Ving Rhames style, and Todd Howard is wearing that shitty leather jacket he's always wearing, and he's pulling down these people's pants and about to fuck them up the ass. Because you're first. You're the first to be fucked. That's what it feels like to me, or sounds like to me. So with that being said, I mean, we'll get into my overall thoughts and housekeeping after the cut. So, getting that out of the way, I have another video coming today. It's going to be my first impressions of The Outer Worlds, which opened up for gameplay yesterday, even though it's supposedly supposed to come out today, but got it on PC. So I have some footage that I've recorded of me playing the game. Gonna be honest with you, I've died like 3 times in this game, running into enemies that I shouldn't have been fucking with, but I'm like, I can take them, boss! Yeah! Getting my ass kicked. But hey, that's part of RPGs. Sometimes you get your ass kicked, sometimes you get the worm, sometimes the worm gets you, you know? This Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as per our normal channel schedule, we have a BS Busters where we will be talking more about the Bethesda debacle and the other news of the week. So look forward to that. Remember, rate, comment, share, subscribe. You can reach the channel at mrredfoxbsbusters@gmail.com or Matthew Wesley at mrredfox91 on Twitter. Or you can join the Discord. Just send me information if you want to join the Discord and you can be on. We do have some rules for the Discord. No trolls or, you know, bullshit, any of that. But if you want to just talk about video games, stuff like that, I'm relatively active on the Discord, so look forward to that. That being said, that's the end of the podcast. Video. Remember, rate, comment, share, subscribe. What do you think about the Bethesda debacle? Do you think that Bethesda can come back from this? Do you think it would have been better had Fallout 76 just gone free to play and then they rolled out the premium service? Whatever. Tell me your thoughts, your ideas on the comment section below, and that's the end of the video.